I was born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, and I stayed there on up until I was around 22 or 23 years old. And the reason I say that because the reason I left Nashville, Tennessee is my mom, she passed away, and I left Nashville, Tennessee, and I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee. And I moved in with my sister, hoping to get a job there and get my own apartment and everything. But no, God had another plan. So my sister, she asked me to leave, and I had nowhere to go. So I went to Knoxville Area Rescue Mission, and I lived there. And I stayed there hoping to continue to working and looking for, my own apartment and everything. But as I was doing it, I started to meet other friends, other people that stayed there. I started drinking and partying with them, which it led to something that I'm very, very sad about. It led to drug use and alcohol abuse. And I found myself with nowhere to go and nothing else to do. Knox Area Rescue Mission asked me to leave. And when they asked me to leave, I had nowhere else to go. So I lived on the street. And I stayed homeless for around 2 or 3 years. And it got to the point until where it got too cold. So I went back to Knox Area Rescue Mission, hoping to volunteer and try to find some work there. And the lady there, she met me and started talking with me. She started to mentor me and talk with me a little bit about life and, choices in life and everything. So I got into the program there, and I didn't understand what a program was at this time. And it seemed like it was really, really tough. And so I left the program and I went back out into the streets. And when I went back out, it was like a 5 or 10 year journey out into the street. So I stayed homeless for about 5 or 10 years in Knoxville. And she came to me one more time and she offered me a better place to go. And she said, if you want a better life for yourself, then you need to go to Indianapolis, Indiana, at Wheeler Mission. But during that time, I was getting to know some of the people there, and I was going back into the old habits that I was living when I was living in Knoxville. I started to run with different people and places and stuff that I wasn't supposed to live in. And one of the guys that worked at the desk came to me and told me, he said, Ronnie, you need to just go ahead and sign up and get into that program there. So as I started to do that and everything, I started to get to know some of the workers there. And there was one guy that worked there. His name was Dennis April. And he offered me a place to stay in a house. And the name of that house was a Jeremiah house. But during those 2 years, I had a budget coach and I had a mentor that kept coming to me, talking to me about, getting your life together and start planning on what you're going to do when you leave the Jeremiah house. And I had no clue which way I was going to go. I had no clue about how was I going to do any of that or none of that. So I just slowly started working on some of my credit and stuff like that, which was a ton of debt. And I had a lady that come through, and her name was Liz, and she come through with a group of people, and they did a tour of the Jeremiah house. And she told me then, she said, Ronnie, she said, I think that you would be a good candidate for the Habitat house. And that was the beginning of the Habitat story with me. And I went down and did the paperwork at Habitat, and eventually they signed me a budget coach and a mentor. And I'm going to tell you, that was amazing. My budget coach, he screened everything that I had. He screened everything that I had to do, and he would tell me to bring paperwork in. And he was showing me how I was going to be able to get out of debt and be a good candidate for one of the houses. And so I brought him my paperwork on my hospital bills and everything. And he told me, he said, Ronnie, if you do this, this, and this, then you can get them paid off, and then we can look at something else. And I remember the day when he came to me and told me that I was approved for my home loan. And it was one of the touching things I ever had in my life, to be approved for a home loan. But as I sit here today, I can look and see how they helped me. I can look and see what all the things that they done for me to get me ready for that home. I understand it now. And I didn't understand it until I moved in, because I didn't understand what kind of bills was going to be coming in. And I didn't understand how was I going to be able to make those bills every month and everything. But now I tell you, I'm so thankful for Habitat for what they've done in my life, and how they walk with me and show me about budgeting, show me about the stuff that's coming in, the stuff that's going to be paying out and stuff like that. And right now, I'm a business owner. I own a lawn care service. And, just by walking with my budget coach and Habitat, how they showed me that it really helped me along with this business that I have. So I'm so thankful for them and what they've done in my life. And I can see what they're doing now, how they had reaching out and helping other people, and they building homes it's changing people's life when I see them build homes and everything. So I'm so thankful for that.